So for this video, things are gonna be a little bit more of like a rant, just like I guess like some of my videos lately have just been a little bit more of a rant, just talking about like how like my manifestation process has been. And I'm just really documenting this as because I kind of do want to like document the process, how I feel, and also just like to highlight some of the tips that are helping me along my journey and also sharing that with other people as well. And I think one of the biggest things like for this week is that I came into a bit of like a space where I felt a little bit more like doubtful that things weren't really manifesting to the expectations. And I think that's one of my things that I've always had to kind of like work on is my own expectations and just like if I'm embarking on something. And it honestly, it really starts off very like, happy and things are going well and when we're doing the routine and all of this. But I think like when a lot of that kind of like quells down is when you start to see, okay, like the real nitty gritty things start to come up to the surface where it's like maybe like one of your habits is like indulging in food and snacks. I know that's mine. And maybe there's like a bit of overindulging in that. There's other things that may come up and it's like, oh, and like it's also accompanied by doubt and things like that. And I feel like for me, that's what I experienced like immensely for last week and also this week as well, because it's a lot of like thoughts or just like feelings like, oh, maybe this isn't working, or maybe I'm in a situation where it's not ideal, and that's also creating a little bit more doubt. And so I think that's where the practice comes in a little bit more fully, because how do we then say to ourselves, like, how do we be more consistent, more persistent, and really eliminating these doubts and not allowing them to fuel what I would also see as like giving up, because then looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is not working. This is not going to my expectations. Maybe I should just stop. I could definitely say one of the things that kind of like worked for me a little bit more this week is saying my affirmations out loud. And I know this might come as like a really big surprise, or maybe just like not a big surprise, but just like a kind of like a duh moment, because it's like, oh, you have to say your affirmations out loud. But it's also not something that you have to. It's more so just like I in my personal opinion, I think that if you are a manifesting generator and you have your sacral chakra connected to your throat chakra, through the lines and all the gates and things like that, I feel as if like it's very much a good idea for you to say your manifestations out loud, because you are using this space, you are using that power, you are using that energy to outwardly affect your reality, and also internally affect your reality as well. Because I think like one of the biggest things is like our words have power and they have meaning and they have emotions behind it. And so when we engage in that, and I'm speaking purely as a manifesting generator, when I naturally engage with that, I do see a bit more of an abundant shift in my thinking, in my energy, and in the way that I approach situations and challenges that comes up. I also realized for me, going into this summer, I always felt like I dreaded summer, in a way, because I always had like a mixed feeling with summertime. And I'm sorry, this is like going off a bit. But this is also why I have also experienced less anxiety when from the experience of doing my manifestation and engaging with subconscious reprogramming. And that's also one of the benefits that I highlighted in one of my videos, is that, you do experience like less anxiety, you do experience like less stress when you're approaching something or trying to reprogram your mind to approach something in a very different way. I think that that's one of the benefits that comes about, is that less stress and less anxiety around that topic. Say for instance, like you're a person that you know that you're not the best social gathering type of person, but when you say affirmations like, I am comfortable being perceived. I am comfortable in large crowds. I am comfortable with the spotlight being on me. That's one of the things that I feel as if like it opens up a little bit more room to be at ease when you're in situations like that. And yes, things are gonna come up. Yes, things are gonna like be a little bit more triggering, but I think like it makes it a little bit more easier for you to combat. The other thing that I'm engaging with, especially this and this is my own personal experience. I know that not everybody is into this, but if you're big on crystals, you can definitely get away with this. You can definitely get away with getting the maximum benefit here, especially if you are an empath and you like crystals and you connect very well with crystals. You can definitely get some citrine. I know that citrine is a very powerful manifester if you use it very well with intention. The other thing that is also pretty good is topaz. Topaz is another one as well. Now, to bring this all together, if you do want like a very powerful manifestation combo in your life, and keep in mind you do have to use this with intention, that is Herkimer and Moldavite and also Libyan desert glass. I think those trio, and maybe you can also use them as a duo, whichever one you would like to pair together. Those can really transform you internally so that your reality looks very different. And again, disclaimer, this is for more people who are used to using more high vibrational crystals and energies in their work. This is not for everyone. This is not for, you know, if you're a new beginner to, you know, using crystals and all these different types of high vibrational like energies. This is not for people who are not equipped yet with using them. I definitely say that as a disclaimer because it can definitely take you onto a very higher roller coaster, and it can be very disruptive if you're not doing also the work to mitigate, you know, any kind of like chaotic feeling that also people describe in their lives. You can also let me know if like you want to hear more about like my own journey with like high vibrational crystals such as like Moldavite or Herkimer diamond or Libyan desert glass or all these different crystals. I can definitely share that as well. But yeah, I would definitely say this week has been like that kind of like turning point a little bit for me. Really kind of coming around the corner a little bit and understanding that like even though if doubt and things like that kind of creep in, maybe trying to like learn a little bit of a new way to engage with the affirmations so that it feels more like a repetitive thing that I'm creating in my everyday life, and there's emotions behind it, there's energy behind it, you know, and that's also something that I'm doing on a consistent basis. Again, if you like this video, please share, please subscribe, and please leave a comment if you'd like more insight or just questions that you would like me to answer about like crystals or just like subconscious reprogramming or any sort of questions that you might have for me. Thank you.